Welcome back to Adams Field, halftime, where Ferris State leads Wayne State 35-0. I am pleased to be joined by the president of Wayne State University, Dr. Emory Wilson. Doctor, thanks for spending some time with me here in the nice, chilly fall air here at Adams Field.
Yeah, if we could score, it might be a little warmer.
I'm afraid we're just going to be cold for the next few minutes.
It's not looking good.
No, but you know what? There's always a second half. You never know.
Second half. Yep.
Hey, Dr. Wilson, I want to ask you, Wayne State recently held a ribbon cutting signaling the completion of the Anthony Wayne Drive apartments, and I want to ask, can you tell me a lot about this project and what it brings to the Midtown area, and also what it's going to mean for current students and even future students?
Yeah, it's a great project. About over 800 apartments for our students. Beautiful apartments, not like when I went to college, I'll tell you that. You know, they have their own refrigerator, their own bathrooms, even a little stove, full-size beds. It's really nice, but it really allows our students the opportunity to be on campus and participate more in campus activities. We were able to tear down an old building, DeRoy, that is now going to be green space for our students. You know, our students are getting a bit priced out of the Midtown market for apartments now, so we got to provide more. So this brings a stock of apartments to about 35, a little over 3,000. So we're going to continue doing what we have to do to allow our students to be able to live on campus, and the likelihood is they're going to succeed more.
And part of the reason that these apartments were definitely necessary, the increased enrollment here at Wayne State. It seems like every year you look up, there's more and more students, and Wayne State has become the talk of this area as far as the education aspect and just the overall atmosphere that you have here at this college.
So the last 2 years have been the largest freshman class that we've had in the history of Wayne State.
Nice.
Last year and this year. So you're right. I mean, you know, people are interested, and there's a lot more students on campus.
Part of the reason, I love the campaign you have with Warrior Strong, and it seems like that's something that's been embraced by alumni, students, people who don't even have a connection to Wayne State see that Warrior Strong.
Yeah.
How impressed have you been by that campaign, and how did you even sign off on that in the first place to get it started?
Well, first of all, I can't take any credit for it, but I love it. You know, it gives me inspiration, to be honest with you. You know, sometimes I'm on my bike and I'm, needed a little strength, and I think about Warrior Strong and just doing it. And I think about our students and everything they have to go through, and it just fits us really, really nicely.
What is it about this university that fits Detroit so well?
Well, Detroit is gritty. They're resilient people, and that's what we are. We're down to earth. We will get down and do what has to be done. Be independent when we have to be. Go out against the crowd and strike out on our own. That's really the Warrior spirit.
Last spring, you of course had the partnership now with the Detroit Pistons. That resulted in the brand new arena that's going to be built for both the men's and women's team, as well as bringing the G League here to Wayne State into the downtown Detroit area. Can you update us any further on the project? Any more details you want?
So the design on that project is being completed now.
Okay.
We should be able to break ground really fairly soon. Sometime this fall, actually, they're going to break ground.
Okay.
It'll be a great project because it'll be a partnership with the Pistons. We'll lease it to them for their G League, as you said, but it allows us to have the kind of facility that, if we want to go D1, we'll have the facility to do so. Now that's a different decision. That's an independent decision, but
you must have seen the look in my eyes when you said that.
But we won't be hampered by the lack of facilities. That will not be the reason why we won't. If we don't go D1, it'll be for other reasons.
Well, that brings up the question then, have you thought about the decision to possibly go D1?
You know, we have, but we'll take it a step at a time. You know, we're one of the biggest universities in the country that's D2.
Okay.
And so there's a lot to be said about D1, but there's also some drawbacks too, particularly in terms of the expense. So we'll evaluate it when the time comes. First things first, and we'll get the arena up.
Gotcha. I'm sorry, I'm putting the cart in front of the horse on that one, but
a lot of people ask me that.
Yeah, when you said that, my eyes immediately went up. It's like, hey, wait a minute here.
Yeah, a lot of people.
You know what? Speaking of the Pistons, they just opened their new practice facility not too far from here, in fact.
Right.
So another boon for downtown Detroit, and it's right in the backyard here, literally at Wayne State. So how much does that help the university, and how much will that help this area?
Well, it helps the whole neighborhood. You know, I don't know if you had a chance to tour it yet, but it's a beautiful facility. And we've got some property right in that area that, a building that we were going to tear down about 5 or 6 years ago, we decided to keep, and Tata Industries has moved in there. So it's just really right across the street from the Pistons area. So that whole area is becoming activated like you won't believe. In a few more years, you won't even recognize that area.
You know, I'm glad you said that because I went down there recently and it doesn't look the same as it did 5, 6, 10 years ago. It's a completely revitalized area.
Yeah.
And just another thing that you can point on is the comeback for Detroit.
Yeah, well, we have our Tech Town building there. We have our I2C building, which is the next energy building. We have iBio, which is our research facility down there. And all of that is within a block of the new Pistons facilities. So it's going to be a great addition to the neighborhood.
Recently, the university's campus master plan was announced, and it provided 10-year planning guide for Wayne State's future development. And what does the campus master plan offer to Wayne State in terms of direction?
Yeah, what we were doing is we were just doing opportunistic land deals. A deal would come up and it would sound good, and we would say, okay, well, let's just do it or whatever. And we didn't really have any real plan to think about the future. And so this way we're guided by something in terms of what we still have a lot of land in the Midtown area. This gives us some guide as to how we want to use that. It's becoming less what we have now because of the development. And we have a lot of deferred maintenance. This whole master plan helps us to identify which buildings we should take care of, which buildings we should tear down, and maybe consolidate, some of the things in one area and free up other space for different things for the future. So it gives us a 10, 15-year time horizon to really think about what to do without having to take advantage of opportunistic opportunities.
The one thing that's impressed me ever since I've been down here, ever since I've been covering Wayne State athletics, is the emphasis on the student part of student athlete. And I know that's something, every time I talk to you, that's very important that you understand. The athletics is important, but being a student, getting that education, graduating, putting that degree to good use has been something that has been an emphasis of yours as long as I've known you, ever since you've been president.
Well, I'm very proud of our student athletes. Notwithstanding the score today, I mean, our student athletes, they're good athletes, but they're also good students. They're good community participants. They do a lot of community hours. They're just good kids.
It's an amazing thing, and do you look at it as it's leadership? I mean, you set the example, they follow the example. Do you look at it like that sometimes?
No, not really. I don't want to take credit for that. I mean, these are just good kids, period, and they inspire me, not the other way around.
But it has happened on your watch. I mean, let's not just say it's not exclusive of you. You have been included in this as well.
Well, I try to be. Having been a student athlete myself, I kind of understand a little bit of what they're going through and can empathize with them. So,
what was the toughest thing for you being a student athlete?
Managing my time.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the hardest thing?
That was absolutely the hardest thing. I was pre-med, and it was hard doing pre-med and managing your time and studying and getting the A's you have to get. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Wilson, thank you very much for joining me. By the way, I do remember going to college not being able to even bring a hot plate in, so these apartments are pretty nice.
Okay.
I could have cooked with these apartments as opposed to what I did in college, but that's a whole nother story.
It's always a pleasure. Yeah.
You got it. Dr. Emory Wilson joining us. He is the president of Wayne State University, one of the good guys here on campus. A campus of so many good guys. He is the top dog. So,
thank you.
President Wilson, thank you very much for joining us. Halftime here at Wayne State. It's all Ferris State. Sorry, Doc. 35-0. They lead. Second half comeback, a possibility. We'll see. We'll rejoin Kevin and Rod up in the booth. They have first half highlights as we roll on here from Adams Field on Comcast CN 900.